They'll say she loves you. But what they don't tell you is how to know if it's real. Not the "I miss you" text, not the hand-holding in public, not the little compliments when things are easy. I'm talking about the unseen proof, the moves she makes when you're not watching, the loyalty she whispers when you're not around, the shadows she walks through with you when the mask falls off and you're no longer the strong one. Most men never see it. Some don't believe it exists. But the rare ones, the ones who've been broken, rebuilt, and made into something solid, they know. In this video, I'm going to show you what real love actually looks like, when it's raw, quiet, and deep enough to shake your old beliefs. 5 signs, 5 levels, 5 silent signals most guys will miss unless someone breaks it down. And that's what we do here. This is Darkside Demeanor, where soft-spoken men sharpen their edge, and good hearts learn how to stop being food. Hit that subscribe button if you're done with the surface, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at her love, or your own worth, the same again. Let's begin. Number 1. Real love doesn't announce itself. It creeps in like a storm with no thunder. Let me break something to you, raw and unfiltered. If you're out here thinking a "I miss you" text means something, you're still playing checkers in a game of chess. That's beginner-level stuff, homie. Surface-level affection, digital smoke signals, and most of the time, it's performative love. She's saying it because it sounds right, not because her soul can't shut up without you. Want to know if she's really in it? Forget the texts. Forget the good morning cuteness. Look at how she moves when nobody's watching. That's the gold. That's where it's all hiding. Does she anticipate your needs? Not after you say, "I feel down," but before you even open your mouth. Does she study you like a second language? Catch the micro-fatigue in your eyes, the low energy in your tone. Bring you a hot drink on a cold day when you didn't even mention you were cold. See, that's the thing. Love doesn't knock. It enters quietly, brings you a blanket when your pride wouldn't let you ask for one. She doesn't do it for credit. She ain't logging favors. She ain't screenshotting it for Instagram with the caption, "Wifey vibes." She's doing it because something in her spirit said, "If he rises, I rise." Let me hit you with a truth that most men never hear. When a woman's heart is all in, she becomes tuned into your rhythm, your emotions. She can hear the offbeat before you know you're out of sync. And I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that old school? Submissive? Nah, this ain't about submission. Don't disrespect her like that. This is about emotional investment. She's not obeying you. She's choosing you. And when a woman chooses you, with intention, without obligation, that's divine. You ever seen a lioness hunt and still look back to make sure the cubs are safe? That's what it's like. She's out there grinding too. But she makes sure you're good even if she's tired, even if she's stressed, even if she's running on fumes. Because deep inside, you're already part of her internal compass. Now listen closely. This care, this devotion, it's not handed out like candy on Halloween. It's rare. It's earned. She ain't doing this for the guy she texts back after 3 hours. She ain't doing this for the guy who's still figuring things out. She's not buying Theraflu and cooking you soup if she's also replying, "Haha, you're so crazy," to some dude named Brandon. This level of care only shows up when she's dropped the mask, when her feminine defenses melt, when her internal alarms go quiet around you, and her soul whispers, "This one? Yeah, this one could build something real." So, how do you know? You won't. Not at first. Because this kind of love don't brag. But one day, you'll notice the small things. Your favorite snack shows up in her purse. She's learning the names of your team. She remembers how you like your tea. Sweet, but not too sweet. She's patching up holes in your life you didn't know were leaking. And she never said, "I love you," with fireworks behind it. She just showed up again, and again, and again. Quiet, intentional, surgical. That's love, my brother. The kind that doesn't speak loudly because it's too damn busy doing. Now here's what separates the men from the boys. Will you even recognize it when it comes? Because if you're used to being loved conditionally, only when you're charming, high status, performing, you might misread this woman's quiet loyalty as indifference. You might think she doesn't care because she's not posting about you. But in reality, she's studying you like war strategy, tuning in to your silence, backing you even when you're not right, but you're hers. And that, my guy, is not something you find. It's something you earn by showing up as a man who deserves it. So if you've got a woman who nurtures you in silence, who protects your peace when you're not even looking, you better wake up, because the world will throw you fake love in shiny wrappers. But the real kind, it shows up without a headline, without a parade, without asking for a damn thing back. And only a fool loses a woman like that. Number 2, real love defends you when you're not in the room, and that's where it actually counts. Here's a question you probably never asked yourself, but it's the one that separates the real from the fake. What does she say when your name comes up and you're not around to hear it? Most dudes don't even think to ask that. They're too busy being charmed by how sweet she is when the lights are on, when the date's going smooth, when the hands are holding and the lips are smiling. But real loyalty? That doesn't happen in your presence. That happens in the shadows, in the side conversations, in the girl group chats you'll never see, in the silence after your name gets thrown into a sentence like a dart at a target. And trust me, that's the test. Because when you're not there to defend yourself, she's either nodding along while her friends clown you for being too intense or too serious, laughing when someone throws slick comments like, "He's kind of a loner, huh?" Or she's cutting it off, mid-sentence, mid-laugh, mid-breath. She might say it soft, or she might say it sharp. Don't talk about him like that. Period. No hesitation, no smile, no explanation. Now ask yourself, has she ever done that for you? Because here's the secret nobody tells you. Loyalty isn't loud. It's not performed. It's not some dramatic Instagram post about ride or die. It's silent warfare. It's what happens when she's got every reason to stay quiet and chooses not to. Let me paint it real. She's at brunch. Her best friend starts talking slick about how you never post her or you're too mysterious. Most women would just smirk, sip their mimosa, and move on. But her, she puts the fork down, looks that friend dead in the eye, and she checks her, not with rage, but with calm certainty. She defends your name like it's her own damn passport, because to her, it kind of is. See, when a woman really loves you, you stop being her man. You become part of her internal infrastructure, an extension of her values, a reflection of her choices. So when people throw dirt on your name, they're not just disrespecting you. They're disrespecting her decision to choose you. That's why it stings. That's why she doesn't let it slide. Because disrespect, tolerated once, becomes a pattern, and patterns become permission. And she's not about to give anyone permission to minimize you. You feel me? Now here's the kicker. Most women won't pass this test. Not because they're bad people, but because real loyalty requires internal risk. It takes guts to go against the grain, to call out your own circle, to tell your own people, nah, that's not cool, especially when they're just joking. But loyalty isn't about ease. It's about boundaries. It's about choosing respect over comfort. And if she can't check her people for the subtle disrespect they throw your way, what makes you think she'll protect your spirit when the storms hit harder? Love isn't built in date nights. It's built in those quiet, inconvenient, uncomfortable moments. When someone brings you up in a sideways tone, and she has a choice. Stay silent and blend in, or stand up and draw the line. And here's the part that most people don't see. A woman's defense of your name cements her loyalty in her own mind too. Every time she defends you, every time she speaks your name with honor, she's re-choosing you, reinforcing in her soul, yeah, he's worth it. Not because you're perfect, not because you do everything right, but because you're hers. And women protect what they treasure. Now let me speak directly to your gut. If you've got a woman who lets people talk about you like you're disposable, laughs along, says nothing, or worse, adds fuel, she ain't with you. She's beside you, but not with you. And she sure as hell doesn't deserve to stand in your sunlight when she can't protect your name in the shade. Because the woman who loves you for real, she's your invisible armor. She guards your rep like it's sacred. She respects you out loud, even when no one's watching. And when that happens, you better recognize it, because loyalty like that, you don't find it twice. Number 3, she closes every open door without you ever needing to knock. Real love don't start when she posts a selfie with your hand in the corner. It don't begin with the "We're official" caption or the matching bios. That's what the world sees after the decision's already been made in the dark. The real moment she chooses you, you won't even see it, because it happens silently, in her phone, in her DM list, in her mind. Before you ever asked her for exclusivity, she was already filtering the noise. See, here's the thing most guys don't realize. Women don't just cut people off because you tell them to. They cut people off because something in them shifts. That shift? It's internal, spiritual, cellular. Suddenly, the attention from that "just a friend" guy feels off. The late-night heart-eye comments feel dry. The come-through texts from dudes in her past, she don't even block them. She just lets them fade. Because when she starts seeing you as hers, not officially, not out loud, but emotionally, every other option starts to feel like a threat to what she's building with you. Let that sink in. You didn't ask her to change. You didn't lay down rules. You didn't run game or beg for loyalty. You just showed up as a man with weight, a man who carries himself like a future, not a fling. And that energy makes her self-correct. She stops posting those low-key thirst traps, not because she's ashamed of her beauty, but because she doesn't need the hit of validation anymore. She already feels seen. She already feels chosen. And more importantly, she's choosing you. That's when you'll notice things shift. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quiet signs. She replies slower to the "old crew." She's home more. Her Instagram stories go from 24/7 selfies to maybe a quote, maybe a view, maybe nothing. Her world starts to close in, and it centers around your frequency. She starts syncing her emotional rhythm with yours. Your needs, your values, your boundaries, they become her compass. But here's the key. She still stays herself. She doesn't become a shadow of you. She just becomes more selective, more inward, more intentional. She don't need to be told to stop dancing in rooms where you're not respected. She just leaves them. She don't ask if it's okay to stop following that guy who used to flirt in her comments. She already unfollowed. Quietly. Weeks ago. Why? Because women are spiritual about loyalty. When they lock onto something real, everything else starts to feel like spiritual noise. And yeah, The streets won't tell you this. You'll hear, she's free, she can do what she wants. And that's true. She can. But when a woman truly feels like you're it, she starts using her freedom to protect the bond, not test its limits. No more party invites that walk the line. No more, it was just drinks excuses. No more pretending she didn't know the vibes when she posted that bikini shot for the world. Because it ain't about control, it's about respect. She starts making decisions not based on what she can get away with, but based on what would make her lose you. That's love. That's alignment. That's emotional exclusivity without a contract. You ever seen a queen burn her bridges behind her without being told? That's what this is. She's clearing the map, making room for you, and only you. But here's the real punch. If she hasn't started moving like that, if she's still letting old flings orbit, still needing public attention to feel alive, still acting like every compliment deserves a smile, still accidentally forgetting how things look from your side, she hasn't chosen you, not fully, not yet. And until she does, you're just on trial. One of several maybes, one of the options in the deck. So stop getting hypnotized by titles. Girlfriend don't mean a damn thing if she's still emotionally available to the world. Look for the signs. Her silence got louder. Her attention shrank. Her world started shrinking, and you were the gravitational center. No big post, no grand confession, just subtle behavior that screams, I'm already his. That's the kind of woman you don't play with. That's the kind you build legacy with. And if you've got that, protect it like it's sacred. Because it is. Number 4. She enters your world without losing hers. Some women, truth be told, ain't built for your path. They don't want to join your world. They want to melt into it, wrap themselves around your routines, your silence, your grind, until you both disappear in the fog. Sounds poetic, right? But fog blinds. It softens your focus, muffles your hunger, makes you forget where the hell you were even headed. So let me be clear. A woman who truly loves you doesn't want to become your whole world. She wants to understand it, study it, walk in it, move through it like she belongs there, without having to erase herself. She sees your chaos. She watches your intensity. And instead of pulling you away from it like most women do, she calibrates. She's not texting you every hour like a 9-to-5 girlfriend needing clock-in attention. She peeps the patterns. You don't answer in the middle of work grinds? Cool. You hit the gym at 10 p.m. and sleep at 3 a.m.? Bet. You vanish for 3 days when your spirit goes dark? She doesn't panic. She studies your moon phases like astrology. She doesn't need to interrupt your storm. She learns how to dance in it, not to impress you, not to perform femininity, like some TikTok therapist told her to, but because she genuinely wants to know what drives your engine and what's bleeding under the hood. She learns the names you mention casually, the mentor you respect, the business partner you trust, the one childhood friend you'd still kill for. She picks up on the tone shifts, knows when your silence means, I'm building, and when it means, I'm breaking. That's rare. That's divine. But listen, here's the part most guys miss. She don't lose herself in the process. She don't fold into your mold like clay. She don't drop her passions, her friends, her edge, just to orbit your sun. Nah. She keeps her flame lit. She keeps her life breathing. She keeps showing up to her own purpose while making room for yours. Because the truth is, love without boundaries becomes bondage. She's not trying to be your escape. She's not trying to be your fan. She's trying to be your equal force in a different direction. When you move like thunder, she moves like bass. Not overpowering, just matching tone. When you're locked into your vision, she don't drag you out of it. She builds beside it, quietly. strategically. This ain't no ride or die Instagram caption. She's not looking to die for your mission. She's looking to live with it, to make it better, to add what you can't, to hold it down when your hands are full, but also to have her own lane. Because love isn't about merging into one blurred identity. That's romance for people who fear individuality. Real love is rhythm. Two distinct instruments learning to play the same song without clashing. She's the melody, you're the tempo. She's harmony, you're structure. And when the beat drops, you both still sound like yourselves. No compromise of character, no sacrifice of soul. Just movement, just alignment. And don't get it twisted. This kind of woman won't beg you to notice her. She won't demand credit for supporting your dreams. She's not looking for applause. Because the kind of woman I'm talking about, she already knows her value. She don't need your validation. But when you give it, she wears it like armor. You'll feel it when she's around. Not because she's loud, not because she's clingy, but because everything just flows better when she's near. Your thoughts organize, your stress softens, your tunnel vision widens, but doesn't lose focus. She becomes the air that lets you breathe deeper, not the rope that keeps you tethered. So ask yourself this: is she enhancing your path, or merging into it like a fog bank waiting to devour your clarity? Because if she's keeping her edge sharp, holding her passion steady, respecting your rhythm while guarding her own, you found something rare. You found synchronization, not romance, not codependence, not sacrifice masked as love, but the divine partnership of two sovereign souls walking in the same direction, without having to trade identity for intimacy. And that's real. Number 5. She sees the ugly. And she don't run this right here. This ain't fairy tale territory. This is the basement level of love, where the filters fall, where the smile cracks, where the world stops clapping and your demons come crawling out the walls. And most men, real talk, they've never let anyone see that version of themselves. The broken you, the shattered pride, the doubt that crawls up your spine in the middle of the night whispering, "You're not enough." The tear you wipe quick before it slips. The rage you bottle so tight it poisons your stomach. And the scary part? One day, it's gonna leak. You're gonna break. Not dramatically, not like the movies, but slow, silent, bone deep. The calls stop. The hustle feels pointless. You stare at your hands like they betrayed you, and she'll see it. That version of you. Not the winner, not the grinder, not the smooth talker with a plan and a purpose. The version that's lost. And here's what most women do. They vanish. Not always physically, but emotionally. They detach, distance, turn cold. They don't know how to sit next to a man who ain't performing. They only knew how to love the version of you who smiled and held it down. But the right woman, she don't flinch. She sees the flicker in your eye when you're drowning. And she stays. Not loud, not panicked, not codependent, just present. She don't try to cheer you up. She don't offer recycled affirmations like some motivational bot. She just sits in the dark with you, silent, solid, unmoving. And that silence, it's sacred, because she knows you don't need saving. You need space. You need someone who doesn't see your cracks as a red flag. She respects your fall, because she understands it takes more strength to break in front of someone than to fake being unshaken. And when you look at her, in that state, raw, stripped, eyes heavy with shame or fear or failure, you'll see something crazy. She still respects you, because the moment you let the armor drop, you gave her something most men never give: access to your truth. That's deeper than love. That's sacred trust. That's spiritual intimacy most people will never taste in their lives. And here's where it flips. She don't just stay. She becomes the mirror. Not the kind that reflects your flaws back at you with judgment, but the kind that shows you the man beneath the damage, the warrior underneath the wounds, the you forgot when life tried to chew through your confidence. She'll call you out, no doubt. She ain't gonna let you wallow. She'll challenge your excuses, push your limits, drag your integrity back out the mud. But she never makes you feel less than. Because her love isn't based on performance. It's based on presence. She ain't impressed by your titles or income or alpha male speeches. She loves your grit, your grind, your quiet discipline when you're half dead inside but still show up. She sees your battle scars, and instead of recoiling, she studies them, learns them, wants to understand the story behind everyone. And she don't use your pain against you. She don't weaponize your past when she's angry. She don't throw your vulnerability back in your face like a weak card in a fight. That's rare. That's royalty. Because anybody can love you when you're on top, but only a soul-wired woman can love you when you're in pieces. That's not just loyalty. That's feminine emotional strength. So listen to me closely. If you ever meet a woman like this, who can sit with your silence, hold your pain without making it hers, love the unpresentable parts of you, and still call you king without hesitation. Don't lose her. Don't play with her. Don't confuse her peace for passiveness. Because she ain't weak. She's just strong in a way most people will never understand. You don't build an empire with a woman who needs you to be perfect. You build it with the one who saw your dirt and still planted a garden. Final hit. She becomes your anchor, not your chain. Here's the real test, brother. Does she ground you or trap you? Because the world is full of women who'll distract you, weigh you down, demand your focus while offering nothing in return. But one woman, one rare soul-connected woman, she'll become your anchor, not the kind that sinks you, the kind that keeps you steady in storms. She won't drift. She won't chase drama. She won't make you question your worth or fight for crumbs. She'll stand still, quiet, solid, unshakable. That's when you'll know you found something real. Now do something about it. Subscribe to Darkside Demeanor, because this isn't your average relationship talk. This is about awakening the man inside you who stops begging for breadcrumbs and starts demanding truth. Comment Encore if you've ever had a woman hold you down in silence, or if you're still waiting for one who will. I'll be in the comments, reading every word, because I'm not here to go viral. I'm here to connect with men who feel like ghosts in a noisy world. This is Darkside Demeanor, and we don't chase love. We recognize it when it bleeds, when it burns, when it stays.